What is up? And welcome to the All Basketball Podcast, where debates often take place. And once again, I'm your host, Maurice Dixon, coming to you on May 31st. End of May already, folks. And usually around this time of year, that means it's NBA Finals time. And the matchup has been set. The number 8 Miami Heat, the number 8 seeded Miami Heat, all the way from the play-in against the number 1 seed in the West, the Denver Nuggets, coming off the sweep of Mike's Lakers to get to the finals. First sweep for the Nuggets in franchise history and first trip to the NBA Finals. So a lot of history made there, and we're about to see if they can wrap up, make even more history with their first title in franchise history behind Jokic, Murray, and crew. Right now on the show, we got longtime homie and consistent podcaster, Mike. Mike, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Reese? Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you for coming on, man. For the matchup is set. Miami, Denver. What you thinking?
They keep counting Miami out, man. They keep saying they about to get swept or they're gonna win one game. But it may go 6 and they may get swept. We never know.
I seriously doubt they get swept. Well, my picks are out. I had Phoenix and Boston in our preview. I forgot who you had. Who'd you have?
I think I might have said LA, but nobody really said Denver.
Yeah, crazy, right? Yeah, nobody. But they proved that they handled Phoenix after losing 2, then just bounced back. Jokic was too much, and then swept the Lakers, which I was surprised to see. A couple of games came close to the wire, down to the wire, and they just made plays. Jamal Murray in that clincher, and Gordon just a huge defensive play. Murray kind of with the tie up on LeBron, and then Gordon just blocked it. Ball wasn't going anywhere near the rim, but it was just kind of more insurance to just as time expired. So yeah, the Nuggets, I'm going to say Denver in 6 because they've been one of the best teams all year, all season. The cohesiveness, they've been healthy. Murray and Jokic are playing really well at the right time of the year, and just how they've been flowing and offensively and playing pretty good defense. And just the fact that either one half you have either Murray going off or Jokic, and then they'll flip in the second half. Jokic will close it out, or Murray will close it out. So I just think it's going to come down. Usually in the NBA, talent, the best team wins the series. Talent, Miami is obviously proven against that, disputed that fact by not being the more talented team, but winning all the way up until this point. But I kind of think it stops here, just with the fact that 2-time MVP Jokic is just going to be too much of a matchup problem, and with Murray there to help out, and the other guys, maybe Porter Jr. knocking down threes, Gordon being athletic and active defensively, him and Caldwell Pope. I just think they overcome Butler and the rest of the role players. But Miami could have the coaching advantage, probably has the advantage at the head coaching position, but then again, I won't be surprised if Miami wins. This kind of might be one of them off years. Butler and company, they might just be due. I mean, last time they've been in the finals, they pushed the Lakers in the bubble. They pushed the Lakers to 6. So with the way things are going, they might just be due.
Let me say this. So when I watched that game 7, I saw Bam, and he was falling. He won't play. And if Bam couldn't expose them little small cats in Boston at the center position, he's about to get worked by Jokic, man. So I'm
Well, yeah,
looking
Jokic,
forward to seeing what kind of minutes he's gonna get. Is he gonna step up, or is he just gonna fall around and flail? I mean, you gave him an inbounds pass, he would lose it. He would turn the ball over. He had a rough night of Game 7. He got tight to him. But if you play like that, I know you can't judge a man off one game, but Jokic just about to have his lunch.
well, specifically in that game,
And I'm curious to see if
Bam.
Miami's gonna double Jokic.
okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. Because who do you leave open? You really can't. Well, I guess you can help off Gordon, but if he's a basket, then that's tough. Specifically on Bam, he went 4 of 10
Right.
last game, hit all 4 free throws, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, a block, and 4 turnovers. So he actually had the second best plus minus for those who care about that at plus 22. So even though he had a bad first half, he had some shots in the second half, but he's generally inconsistent to me. He'll have certain. I think they play him too much. He tries to do too many playmaking duties, too much point guard. I know he doesn't have like a post game or anything. He got a little nice mid range shot, but he's usually just doing dribble handoffs and trying to set up the screen and roll. But it's just something where he's just not consistent enough to be their second best player. And the thing is, will he be consistent enough to do that this series, especially if Hero doesn't come back to game 3? But him coming back, I mean, that's history of the NBA. Usually when guys come back in the midst of series, they kind of mess things up in a way, or they're just not ready because you haven't been out there getting that experience up until that point. You just kind of throw into the fire, and I give you a specific example, like when 2009, when the Lakers played the Magic and Jameer Nelson was hurting, Rafer Alston was playing, Skip DeMalu was playing, and then Jameer Nelson got back healthy and they brought Nelson back in. It kind of seemed to throw him off a little bit, even though they weren't favored to win the series. But at that point, you kind of want to work guys back in the right way. But I think Miami's coaching staff will do that if Hero is able to come back by game 3 last I saw. So that's all you got on Bam. What about Cody Martin? I think I'm saying that right. Caleb Martin?
Can't hear you.
Which one is it? Is it Caleb Martin? It's Caleb Martin, right?
Oh, Caleb Martin. Yeah. He had a game for the ages, boy. Yeah, he was hot. He was efficient. And he was playing for a new contract, boy. I thought him and Bam should switch contracts the way he was playing, boy.
And then,
he was unstoppable. His J was falling. He played decent enough defense. Like he was not. He stepped up for the game 7, man, and that's what you want. Now, if he has a nice series like that against Denver, man, I could see Miami getting a game or 2. But he has to step up. I mean, he played out of control.
hold up, so
he played like an all-star.
So you said people are doubting Miami, but you're not picking them?
No. I'm a fool. I'm not fools. I seen Denver play. I seen them how the boys were balling out, man. And Murray, this is for playoff Murray, man. That guy, if he's efficient at home, dropping 37 in a half, I mean, Miami can hang it up. And they don't have really the defense like that. I mean, you got guys that you can really expose, like Duncan Robinson and Lowry. Like, you can really, who's Lowry gonna guard? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, all I saw from him was a couple of turnovers and him falling around. But he hit some clutch threes, but I don't think defensively, man, Denver's gonna have that way. Man, Denver gonna blow them dudes out, man.
You said it. I mean, when have we really seen Miami get handled? I mean, I know Boston was inconsistent, but Miami's hardly ever really gotten handled like that. I mean,
They about to get handled a couple of games. I think these first 2 games are about to get handled, man. That's just me.
I don't know if I see them. I mean, maybe game 1, but
Who Jimmy gonna guard?
well, depends on what you want to. I mean, if you
I know who he
think
should guard, but who is he gonna guard?
it would seem like they would probably put him on Porter or maybe Caldwell Pope, because
Right, yeah.
I mean, you might.
Or they let him play that little stupid zone, man. Denver goes like that. Light him up.
Well, I just heard recently from something I was listening to that guys are really curious. Some guys for SI on the podcast I was listening to, Rohan Narkani and Chris Herring, they were saying how is Miami really going to run the zone because of what Jokic brings in. I mean, the only person out there who can't shoot and start a lineup is really Gordon, but he might give you a game or 2 here or there, but I don't know, man. Miami is just something. I mean, the coaching, those guys play hard. I mean, you just can't. I just don't see them getting whipped. I see them possibly getting beat. But I mean, they know how to get good shots, execute well, play good enough defense. Like they know how to do a lot of things well, not really great. Then if Butler goes off, I mean. You have Butler 1, you're 1A, Jokic, you're 1A, and then Murray, then maybe Caleb Martin, he starts to ball out, or I mean, Strus can hit threes. Who am I missing? Robinson maybe, but I just don't see them getting handled like you like you boldly admitted.
I don't think it's that bold, man. I've seen both teams play. I mean, Miami, they stick around. I mean, they've been underdogs all year long. But I've seen Denver play. And if Denver can sweep the Lakers are better than Miami, then, yeah, I don't see it that close. I mean, we'll see. I'll see you at halftime text when they up 30.
That's a little strong.
Well, I'll take 15 in. Easily up 15.
It just don't work like that, man. I mean, this. what you got on the series, Lawrence, as far as Denver, Miami?
I really got Denver winning this series 5 games or 4 games to 1. What we've seen in the past 3 years since the bubble season is that the Miami hasn't really had an answer for Nikola Jokic and what he's done. And we got enough of a sample size to know that what he does is a little bit too much for what Miami's defense is able to throw at him. Now, having said that, I can't count out Coach Spo. What he did in this playoff run has been amazing because he's really neutralized what Milwaukee was going to do. I really didn't see them losing to the Knicks, and then Boston, which we know that Boston sometimes can be really inconsistent. But what I've seen with Denver and Miami is that Nikola Jokic is just too big and too much for Bam to handle. And if Jokic was able to take out AD for however people feel about AD, he is still a pretty good defender, like top 10, top 5 defender. And he was able to just, do whatever he wanted. He had his way with him. And Bam is a much smaller defender, still a great defender. But I just don't see that zone that Miami runs affecting what the Nuggets do.
Now, what about Miami's offense, their ability to get, I don't know if it was Boston just couldn't figure it out, but they got a lot of clean looks, man. Martin, Robinson, Strus, Lowry, Vincent, a lot of guys, they be a lot of clean looks, and that showed in that game 7 when they went 50% from 3. So And Denver's not really known for their defense, but their offense, you got to keep up with it as well. So,
well, in the regular season, Miami wasn't that proficient from three, and then all of a sudden the playoffs, now they're Golden State Warriors. Can they keep that up? That'll be the telltale sign. Can Caleb Martin, can Strus, Gabe Vincent, can these guys still make these threes at this rate? We already know that Jimmy Butler is a consistent enough playoff performer. We know we're going to get out of him. But that's going to be the key. I really didn't see Boston's defense wasn't the same level as it was the year before. So that wasn't surprising me. They had a lot of breakdowns on the defensive end of the ball. But again, just from what I've seen from Denver, I think they have the answer to the question about what Miami can do. But that's why they play the game. That's what I think. I don't know. I don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but I definitely think Denver can beat them in 5 games. Plus the fatigue factor. 7-game series against Boston. It was a knockdown, drag-out fight. Went to game 7. Fatigue has got to play a role into it too.
That's a good point. Before you came on, I was telling Mike that I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those off years as well, because in Miami, maybe they just finally get that championship they've been seeking since LeBron left. Would you be surprised with the same thing?
No, I wouldn't be surprised. Basketball all these years, there's nothing at this point that can surprise you. And this would just further, to me, it would further validate Coach Spoelstra as one of the best, if not the best, coach in basketball, because there's never been an AC to win become a champion in the NBA. It's never happened. The closest we had was the '99 Knicks.
Yeah, that's true. And then the lowest seed was the Rockets.
The Rockets
at 6 in '95, yeah. But even this Heat team, they aren't. I know they had to win a play-in game. They lost to Atlanta. I've heard people say they might have threw that game because they felt like they had a good chance to catch Milwaukee slipping. But last year they were a 1 seed, so they're really.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know what's gotten into Miami, but they were that team. I think I was listening to a couple of podcasts before the playoffs start. Miami was a team that was kind of laying in wait, and they felt like they were just going to spring. And when they lost to Atlanta, I thought, oh, well, it's no big deal. But then they beat Chicago, and I said, well, they can't beat Milwaukee. And even with Giannis going down, I still felt like Milwaukee was the better team. They beat him. They beat him handily. And even with Giannis coming back, and, Giannis was kind of full strength in that last game, they still beat him. So it just tells me that there's just no telling what can happen. But I really have a strong feeling about Denver not kind of falling prey to the same things that Boston fell through, because I think the shooting for Denver has been consistent. I think their star play has been more consistent. And if Jamal Murray is able to keep this going for him, then I don't see why the series should go any more than 5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna sit at 6 in favor of Denver.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised by 5. But they
and they might get swept.
Well, that's what you're doing. That's what you put on wax. So
I put on what? What's wax?
You put on wax. I mean, that's just a term.
Put on record.
Okay. But let's backtrack a little bit since we did bring up Boston. Mike, do you probably a lot of talk definitely now is that do you split Tatum and Brown? What do you do with the Celtics? What do you think the Celtics should do? Because they came this close to making history, but they in a game 7, you just can't get blown out at home. That's just unforgivable. But guys didn't play well.
Yeah.
Tatum kind of hurt his ankle. So where do you see Boston going?
I ain't really a Boston fan, but I don't think I would split them up, man. They still young. They can figure it out. He just had a horrible game, man. Old boy had 8 turnovers and was playing like he could. I didn't realize he couldn't go left. So they said that when you guard Brown, force that dude left, right? So when he went left, he was coughed it up and turned it over and was bricking. I was like, oh goodness. And then they just kept shooting threes. It's like if they went to the hole against Miami, there's your advantage. But they love the 3-point shot, man.
Well, you have to go a certain way because Bam will block shots. Now you have to go to the hole a certain way. We got to at least give him credit, so it's not.
So you attack Bam, he tries to block your shot. You throw the alley to Will, or if he's just not an offensive threat. I mean, I know it's not that simple, but yeah, you got to have some kind of. They didn't have any play, no offensive plays. At least Miami was running back door, setting screen, like they were doing something, and Boston was like, "Oh, it's just ISO ball. I'm gonna just stand here." Like there was no offensive rhythm. So
well then
that's their issue.
Do you get rid of Mazzulla, or do you give him another chance? Because that's really on him, unless the guys just aren't listening.
Or the offensive coach. I mean, you got no offensive people. I mean, you got 8 people on the coaching staff, but he gets all the blame. Like, what about the other dudes on the bench that's sitting there in the nice ties and going on the trips and doing all this stuff? What do they do? I'm saying, what do they do? Oh, I ain't the head coach, so I'm good. I just stay in my role.
I mean, they should help with adjustments, but remember,
work on their shots, tell them how to play defense. But hey, we ain't got no offensive flow. But I'm an assistant coach, ain't gonna say nothing. Right, I know our offense stinks, but I'm gonna be quiet.
But I don't know if it was that. I mean, maybe you just definitely the lesser talented staff. I mean, then he did lose. They lost Hardy to Utah.
Yeah,
Udoka first off messed up a season, and then Stoudemire went to Georgia Tech. They probably should have promoted him, but I guess for some reason Brad Stevens liked Mazzulla. They said Mazzulla was on the second row. So, I mean, I don't think you get I don't think you get rid of him, but
you gotta blame the whole organization. How many times does a head coach go into the freaking general manager spot? Or I ask this: how many black head coaches have got promoted to president of operations?
I don't know, but
I mean you got players that have been promoted.
It may happen.
You got players that have been promoted. James Jones got promoted, and he's a general manager in Phoenix. I mean, Pat Riley was a coach, and then he moved up into the front office. Phil Jackson went from coaching to the front office. Doc Rivers.
Right, you make my point.
Phil Jackson took control. Joe Dumars is black. He ran the Pistons.
Joe Dumars.
Oh, he was a coach.
Something in there.
Yes, he wasn't the coach. He wasn't the coach. Yeah. Right.
That's my point. He was not a coach.
He skipped over the coach. He went straight. Why be a coach if you can be the general manager?
Well,
Brad Stevens got a promotion. Brad Stevens didn't get a demotion. He got a promotion to upstairs. That's what Danny Ainge was.
Yeah, Danny Ainge was, but Ainge wasn't no coach.
No, he had a better job than the coach.
You're making my point.
I'm saying Brad Stevens got a promotion. He didn't get a demotion.
You're making my point. That's what I'm saying, brother.
Okay.
I'm saying how many of these coaches, how many coaches that don't do well coaching get promoted into the general manager's area. That's all I said. And y'all start naming Pat Riley.
I mean, outside outside of Stan Van Gundy, you have a point. Outside of Stan Van Gundy.
Okay. And all those guys you made or have said that have been of what what race? So that's what I'm saying. But
I
hey,
mean,
if it's not to see that, it's not to see that.
I don't think it's a race issue. I think we're playing a race card when we shouldn't play it. We're gonna water down a race card if we use it right here. This is not a good place to use the race card.
Okay.
In my opinion.
It's a fact. It's a fact. But all right.
The NBA is one of the more progressive industries that we have, and you know, I agree with Mike on that. It's just, I mean, not Mike, but I agree with you on that point. Like, there's no need to play that card there. It's not a race thing. It's just, if you want to say nepotism, or you want to say
plenty of that,
something like that. Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't think race is a factor on that.
And then, I mean, I think Brad Stevens, his first 2 hires were black coaches. And he gave Joe Mazzulla an extension in February. So his job is not on the line. He's not going to get fired. He'll be the he'll be the coach of the Celtics next season.
Facts. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
do you think Mazzulla deserved that extension? Because their offense looked kind of horrible.
No, it ain't. I think when Jaylen Brown can't handle the ball, that ain't got nothing to do with Mazzulla. I think
everybody jumping on Jaylen Brown.
He couldn't go left. I thought what Draymond said was a joke. I'm like, oh, he can't go left. But in that game 7,
he can't go
game
left.
7.
But he's strong right though, just like Dominique. Yeah. He's strong right.
Be strong right, like Clyde Drexler and Sprewell. Just be
right.
Play to your strength. But when they didn't set a screen. It was just all drive and kick. It became so
ISO ball.
It became predictable.
Right.
And then they probably started pressing because you're getting down and you need threes, and they going by the fact that if we shoot a certain percentage from 3-point range, we're going to win majority of the time. But that's you got to make an adjustment. I mean,
they didn't lose. They didn't lose because of coaching. They lost because of the same reason they lost last year. Because your 2 best players like to give the ball away to the other team in crunch moments. That's what happened. Jason Tatum, who led the whole playoffs in turnovers last year by a large margin, and second was Jaylen Brown. And this same thing this year, they just give the ball over to the other team. They did it in the Atlanta series, they did it in the Philadelphia series, and it just caught up to them because Miami is so disciplined and mentally tough. And Boston gave away the series.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a certain bit of predictability with this kind of Boston offense, because you saw that the Jimmy Butler and Bam, they were all jumping the plays, like especially in Game 7. It was really evident the amount of steals, other than Jaylen Brown just getting ripped multiple times. But they were jumping those plays, like they knew where they were going to swing the ball to. So I think that the blame on the Celtics has got to go kind of all the way around. But to your point, the stars didn't show up. Tatum,
I'm saying, is that a coaching issue or a personnel issue? Because it seems to me Boston plays the way they have to play based on the personnel that they have. They have perimeter-oriented guys. Their best 2 players are wingmen. They don't have a big that they can dump the balls to down to the post and get an easy buckets. None of Tatum or Brown, they don't go to the post and get post buckets. Everything is perimeter oriented. The guards, everything is perimeter. So that's a personnel issue. And then we got to look at Brad Stevens once again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's possible that it's a personnel issue. I've been saying for the longest time they need an actual point guard, not Marcus Smart running the point guard position. They need an actual point guard, who's going to involve everyone in the game instead of it just being the Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum show. And then, you know, you have Robert Williams in the dunk spot, and he gets easy buckets like there. There's no reason why a guy that athletic shouldn't be getting 10 points a game. So, you know, like I said, I agree. Again, I agree with you too. I agree. Yeah, I'm saying all to say I agree with you.
Right. They did bring in Brogdon. Brogdon was supposed to, after last year's finals, everybody said the point guard was the issue. They brought in Brogdon, and he won 6 Man of the Year. He had a good year. In the playoffs, I don't know what happened to him, but
He did get hurt,
the
though. He did get hurt.
issue was supposedly addressed. It just didn't work out for whatever reason. And for me, I'm one of those guys. I have to if I got to put the blame on somebody, I got to put it on the guys who are your best players on the team. That's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I can't put this on the role players. The role players all stepped up. They played pretty decent. Derek White was pretty good. Robert Williams does what he does. He alters shots at the rim, block shot, rebound. That's what he do. Jason
White
Tatum
needed more touches, man. He needed to dominate the ball.
Right. Well, who need to dominate the ball?
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day,
White was one of the whole.
I mean, he did what he
was
supposed to do. I don't need Derek. I shouldn't expect Derek White to be my number one option.
Well, you have to. Well, I'll say this though.
You got to make an adjustment. He the one making everybody else better.
When Tatum hurt his ankle, you're gonna need somebody else to initiate stuff. So White started doing that with the floaters.
Right.
So.
Right.
And then Brown, he can't. He can't. He tried to cross over. He lost.
Brown dropped the ball.
Going left was a problem. So
I'm not giving Jason Tatum an excuse. I'm not giving Jason Tatum an excuse for his ankle. I'm not giving him an excuse. You have 7 games to handle your business. He hurt his ankle in the 7th game. If you would have handled your business by game 6, you healthy going into the finals. You did not handle your business. That's what happened. Because Gabe Vincent went down for game 4. He didn't play. Tyler Hero was out the whole series. I'm not using this injuries as an excuse when you did not handle your business before game 7.
Right, but he got hurt at the beginning of game 7, so that changes your whole.
But what about game 1, 2, and 3? What happened in game 1, 2, and 3? Was he hurt then?
No, it just wasn't as good. I mean, he had his
so
moments.
If he would have won, if he would have played great in either of those games, 1, 2, or 3, they wouldn't even had a game 7 for you to hurt your ankle. So I'm not giving you an excuse.
Well, Tatum. Well, this is what I say about Tatum. He's just not there yet. And maybe as people like to say, maybe he's not that guy, but he still is young. And NBA history has shown that you don't win usually until you're about 27, 28. So he still got that little window to depend on, but he's just still young. It probably might just be a youth thing. It's hard to win with the high. For that too, but I think he's come past all that. He's come past.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Like you just said, he hurt his ankle in the first play of game 7. He's a dookie.
We led him to the finals last year. I mean, don't forget about the games he had against Philly now. He torched.
I mean, he's the best of all the Dookies. I would give him that. He's the best of all the players that ever came from Duke. Jason Tatum is the best, but he's still a Dookie.
Oh yeah, you got some room to grow. I just think it just got a little more room to go, and you want to get that post game going like he had. Then he shoot too many threes. He played, but when his ankle kind of changed him up, man, he didn't have the drive, and so it's like I got to settle for shots. And it just
that's the Dookie. That's what Dookies do.
It's not a lot of players in the game nowadays that use the post anymore. Like you probably count them on one hand.
Yeah, the great ones. The great ones do it. Right.
Yeah, it's Jokic.
Right, the great ones.
Post player,
LeBron. Right, KD. Right, the great ones. The really good ones who you like. Yeah, Jimmy Butler. Right, the great ones. Right. Right.
But
not the good ones. Not Jason Tatum and old guys. That's a lower level. They don't post. I'm talking about the great players, they post, yes.
No, Tatum.
Joel Embiid. Right.
Tatum had some post ups. He would run it.
Nah, he was shooting threes.
No, I'm saying that game, but before. That's what I'm saying. With coaching that's where coaching is key. Like, hey man, we got to get you in this spot in the mid post somewhere.
That's
That
up to the player. That's the
in the
player's
elbow.
responsibility to be great and have a high basketball IQ and know where he likes the ball at. That's up to the player. That has nothing to do with coaching. Let's not start blaming coaches. Coaches are responsible for X and O's, all the timeout plays, how many minutes a guy gonna get. Is this chemistry not working? We're gonna change man on man. Okay, 2-3, man. Like that's the coaching ain't got nothing to do. This player knowing that I like the ball right here and I need to get it. That's up to the player.
Coaching can be like a form of mentorship, or maybe just
Like
something you're not recognizing.
Shaq said, I didn't give a damn about the coach. I told the great player. We talk. Okay, let's not put him up there with the great players. If you can't tell your teammates, I want it here, I want it now, give it to me, and they respect you. Like
That's Shaq's opinion. Like you have another opinion too, where you have other people who may me to tell you something and do this. Mike, what are you doing in your jump shot? Extend your wrist more, not just speaking. Because remember, speaking is powerful. Words are powerful, and something you're not getting. That's key.
that's TV talk. That's not real. I know real NBA head coaches. I know real. I'm friends with real NBA head coaches to this day. Now I still talk to these folks, and that's a bunch of crowd. If you're a great player, you supersede coaching. Michael Jordan superseded. No, give me the ball here, and all you can do is put me a system in place and get me the players around me. I'm a great player. I know how to be great.
All great players don't win.
Which ones? Name me a great player that didn't win.
Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, they didn't win.
Well, they went to the finals. They did win. They won MVPs. What are we talking about? They won.
I'm talking about the championship.
Oh, come on. They went to the finals and they won MVPs. Their careers was a success. These are great players. These are top 50 players all time. Let's not talk about top 50 players as being bums. I can't know. The top 50 players.
I said all great players don't win. That's a fact.
They did win. They won MVPs and they went to the final. They won the Western Conference Finals. They won them They champions. They just didn't win it all. But all great players have went to the finals. All great players have led their team to the final. Name me a great player that has never won an MVP and has never led a team to the final.
Russell Westbrook.
He led a team to the finals and he won MVP. And he averaged triple-double for 4 years. What are you talking about? That's a lie.
That's two right there.
James Harden won the MVP.
Two right there.
So it's
James Harden was an MVP.
Going to the
James Harden won MVP.
Right.
James Harden did that.
Finals, didn't win anything.
I'm saying he played in the finals.
Yeah.
He definitely did that.
Right, but he got an MVP and he was top 3 at MVP for like 4 years straight. Like, come on, let's stop.
You just said what I just said, right? You said all players are great. I said all great players don't win. You said that, right?
I'm saying he did. I said all great players have won an MVP or been to the finals. Name me a great player that has never done either of those things.
And I said all great players don't win.
At the end of the day, it's a team game.
All great players don't win championships. I said that.
No, all great players don't win championships. It's a team game.
That's all I said.
Okay. Right. But they get to the finals and they win MVPs. That's all I was saying. They do win. Just because you don't win an NBA championship doesn't make you a loser. That's what I'm saying. You still a winner. Charles Barkley is still a winner. Karl Malone and John Stockton are still winners. Chris Webber is a loser. Tracy McGrady is a loser.
Man.
Yeah, they didn't win nothing.
Cut it.
I mean, I'm saying they didn't win nothing. That's how I'm cutting it. Did you win the MVP? Did you get a team to the finals? No. Okay, you didn't do nothing. You second tier.
Well, yeah, either or. I mean,
right.
Ben Wallace, he didn't win the MVP. on the team to win
Ben
the finals.
Wallace is not a
finals.
Ben Wallace is not a. He's a third tier. He's not a great player like that. He did what he supposed.
You mentioned something, man. I think the coaching part actually plays a role into getting those rings. So you can, like you said, you got your Reggie Millers, you got all these great players, but if you don't have the coaching along with the teamwork and all that stuff, you won't get no rings.
Yeah, but most of these coaches definitely, if you got a final appearance, like most of these guys play with great coaches. Even Reggie Miller, Rick Carlisle is a great coach. Even today, I think Rick Carlisle is a great coach. You got to have pieces. You got to have players on the team. Just because you got a great coach, you can get Phil Jackson. You can go get Red Auerbach. If I don't have pieces to play with, I don't give a damn how good of a coach I am. Look at Popovich. Popovich's team is in the lottery.
Right.
He's revered as the greatest.
You have to have some. Now, Larry Brown probably did the most with the
I think he's the greatest coach ever. But Popovich has been revered by most people as the greatest head coach in the NBA. But his team just got the #1 pick in the draft, and they've done it twice under his watch. Because you need players to be a great coach.
Oh,
you
definitely.
can't. Right. So it comes down to the players at the end of the day.
Well, we can just agree to disagree. You can, like you said, coaching matters, coaching don't matters. I mean,
it matters.
In some series it matters, some series it don't.
No, coaching always matters. But we have a disagreement on is how much this coaching matters.
Greg Popovich took Tim Duncan out of the game. He's a great coach. Took Tim Duncan out of the game.
Right.
Bosh get the rebound, kick it out the Ray Allen.
Right.
That's the coaching blunder.
Right.
I don't know.
And that happens.
Larry Brown.
It happens.
I don't know what if Larry Brown, she went and trapped Ginobili in the corner, left Robert Horry, one of the most clutch players ever. I don't think Larry Brown told him to do that. He just wanted to run over there and do that.
All right, so you saying it's up to the players. That's what I say. Right.
No, but the coach made a decision Popovich made a decision to take Tim Duncan out of the game.
Right. He did. And he had his reasons. Just like Belichick, people think Belichick is the greatest coach in the NFL history, but he's done some questionable things. But you can't question him because he done won 7 Super Bowls. You can't question the guy who won 70% of his games over a 10 years period. They make mistakes. That happens in coaching.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we agree that coaching matters. But I'm saying players matter more than coaches. Can I play? Definitely in the NBA. Now, football is different because the coach got to call plays. But basketball, this is a player's game. And that's why we love it, because it is a player's game.
What you saying, Mike?
It just made my point. I was just saying how, you got all these great players, but you still need a little element of coaching to get you the ring. And you can have all this talent in the world, these big threes and all this stuff, but you need the coaching to mesh it together and to make it work. So that's all I'm saying. I mean, I guess we're saying the same thing. I'm not saying coaching is above the players.
Right.
Because clearly you need players to do the work. But you got to move the pieces in the right format.
What happens when you have a great coach and who's proven, like Doc Rivers, and then Embiid, James Harden, and these guys just don't get it done? Then what? Like, you got the coach, Ty Lue, he's proven, but Kawhi, Paul George, and the old guys can't get it together. What do? I got the coach. Now who I blame?
You blame the players.
Well, the coach.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Let's blame these players
when things go wrong. Coach is always going to be the first person. You know, they always changing the coach. You think about, like you're talking about coaching, and it makes me think of Mark Jackson and the Golden State Warriors. You know,
right.
And they fire Mark Jackson. They bring in Steve Kerr. Immediately, they win a title. Right? They go 67-15. So, yeah, I just think the philosophy of the head coach,
right,
and his understanding of what are my strengths and weaknesses of my players, I think that matters too. But again, I'm not disagreeing. If you don't have the tools in the tool shed, players, you're not gonna win. It don't matter how good your philosophy is. You gotta have players make plays. Players make plays at the end of the day. And that's what Boston didn't do. They didn't make plays at the end of the day. Whatever the excuse is, Tatum's, Jaylen Brown can't dribble. It's just, at the end of the day, that's what happened.
That's what happened. Well said. I want to go through the Lakers real quick. I felt like LeBron shouldn't have played that whole game. I felt like he should have got some relief when they were up. Mike almost called it. I know me and him were going at it last show because he had so much belief in him, and I was like, even though it was a different team, they're gonna go far, and I was like, you think a team could go far that hasn't been good all season, but they picked it up in certain.
They went far.
Denver was out. Yeah, they went.
They went far.
Yeah, they went far.
Farther than expected.
So what did they?
And Brian was great. Brian was great.
Brian was great.
He was great all time.
Yeah, he was great.
Denver was a better team. It's a team game.
So do we need changes? I mean, we know Anthony Davis not consistent. We know.
No, it's not.
Where did the Lakers go?
They went. They did it at the trade. After the trade deadline, the Lakers were the best team in the league. All they gotta do is get Brian healthy. AD still gotta get a little more fire, but if they just keep the pieces they got, I think they should be able to compete next year. I mean, it depends on what Brian gonna give you. It's just amazing what he continues to give you as he ages. I don't expect Brian to average another 28 points a game at 39, but let's just say he does, and he doesn't have ankle issues. Well, they're gonna compete for a title next year. It's simple. It's easy. They got two of the best players in the world. It's not hard. It's basketball.
So what I would say is, if you're dependent upon LeBron giving you 28 points in year 21.
Right.
I don't think that's sustainable. So they really need AD to give them more, because LeBron should not be doing that. No. At some point, like I continue to say, he's had the greatest year 19, greatest year 20 of all time. As I continue to say, he can't keep doing that. He needs AD, and I don't even know if AD is capable of that. Like, we've seen enough. I don't know if he's capable of the consistent greatness. He's gonna give you the game here, the game there. So they need another player. And if they get that other player, then I can soundly say that the Lakers can compete for a title. What they did this season, like going to the Western Conference Finals, even though they got swept, it exceeded my expectations. They went further than I thought. So, but yeah, they get one more piece and they keep it rolling, and they're going to have to manage LeBron a little bit better. I'm up with Maurice on that. He shouldn't have played the whole game. They needed to kind of spread him out, because it's kind of like you play the whole game. Even if you win that game, what's going to happen in game 5?
Breaking news. In case you didn't know, breaking news. LeBron dictates when he comes in the game, when he comes out the game. There's no coach alive who can tell Bron, I need you to sit over here and rest. In the history of the game, Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson, there's no coach in the history of the game that can tell LeBron, I want you to sit over here for 4-5 minutes. He can suggest it, but at the end of the day, Brian plays when Brian wants to play, and he should, because he's the all-time great player, arguably the greatest player ever to grace the basketball floor. So,
I get that.
And he played, and he played all those minutes, and guess what? They needed every last minute he played, and he played great. So
not the second half. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, he scored 40 points. I need somebody else to give me some points. He scored 40 with the 10 and the 10. He did, and he shut down. I saw him take Jamal Murray when he needed to, and shut him down. Okay, what about the other guys? I ain't worried about Bron. I know what he capable of. What about AD? They
mailed it in after game 3.
Okay, well then, I mean, that ain't, once again.
If they would have won that game, what would LeBron been able to give you in game 5? Because the man was exhausted.
Oh,
that's the question.
He would have needed what Jimmy Butler needed. What Jimmy Butler praised. Jimmy Butler's so great for me. I love Jimmy Butler. Mm-hmm. I love my teammates. I believe in them. My teammates carried me.
Yeah.
That's what LeBron needs. Jimmy Butler's teammates, Gabe Vincent, and these folks talking about Caleb Martin on TV like he D-Wade. I can't believe it. He's not D-Wade, but they like, oh yeah, they can win. They got Caleb Martin. I'm like, really? But that's what Jimmy Butler had. Duncan Robinson made big shots. Max Strus made big shots. Yeah. LeBron need those Vanderbilts and Hachimuras and all. He need those guys. Malik Beasley couldn't even get on the floor. Well, he was the best shooter they got.
Hachimura and Reeves. Reeves did they think they just had to all.
No, they played well, but I'm saying Malik Beasley is the best shooter they have, and he couldn't even get on the floor.
I don't know if is he better. He might be statistically better, but I think Reeves is the best shooter.
No. I mean, if you watch basketball every day like I watch basketball, you would know Malik Beasley is the best shooter they have on the team. For whatever reason, if you just watch basketball every night like I watch basketball, you would know Malik Beasley is the best shooter they have on the team. But for whatever reason, he couldn't get on the floor. Maybe it's defensive because Darvin Ham wants defense. And the Lakers had the number one defense in the league after the trade deadline, which led to them having the best team in the league after the trade deadline. So they on the right path. They just need some small tweaks. Nothing big.
They're going to have to pay Austin Reeves some money. Oh, no, you got to send D'Angelo Russell on his way.
They got to figure that out. D'Angelo Russell, his contract is up, though. So, they'll figure that all out. They'll bring somebody else in. He's a liability on defense, so he can't really help him.
Liability on offense, too, sometimes.
Yeah, well, when you such a liability on defense, now you have to score on offense. You have to hit all your shots because when you're not, you're just causing debt for your team. So it got to a point where, because he had a game where he was red hot. He was hitting, he scored like 21 points. And he's useful in that type of game. But when he doesn't give you 21, 23, 24 points, he's a detriment. He's going to be in the minus for your team.
Yeah.
He was out there shooting after the game, wasn't he? Was that right?
Hey man, that don't help you slide your feet, man. You gotta slide your feet, man. That they were doing, man, every time, and it was beautiful. But every time whoever D'Angelo Russell was on, they'll just get the ball and go straight to his chest. I mean, you saw Bruce Bowen look like an all-star. I mean, this man was putting up 25, 30 points a game because he just going straight at D'Angelo's chest, driving right under the basket, laying it up. And everybody was doing that to him. Every possession down the floor. And you can't have that unless you scoring 30.
Okay, now you were saying Beasley. Now this year he didn't where we at? Reeves 39.8. Beasley, he fell off a little this year. He was at I think 35. I'm trying to get to come up. 35.7, 35.8.
I know you do this all the time. I keep trying to tell you, Maurice, you can't stat me to death. I watch games. Yeah, you can pull up those stats, but those stats aren't in context. Right. Austin Reeves is a good player. I like how he had a good year this year. He's not a better shooter than Malik Beasley.
This year he was.
Again,
career. I
like Austin Reeves. I think Austin Reeves earned himself some money. He's gonna get paid. He shot he played big in the playoffs. I'm not knocking Austin Reeves at all. I'm not saying that Malik Beasley should have had Austin Reeves minutes. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying I watch basketball every night and not just this year. Every year you've known me in your life. Malik Beasley is a better shooter until Austin Reeves put up 3-4 years. Until Austin Reeves put up 3-4 years of consistency, Malik Beasley has been known as a shooter in this league. Austin Reeves is becoming that.
Definitely.
Don't try to stat me to death. You always do this, and I gotta tell you, I do this for a living. I actually do this.
No.
You try to stat.
You're not gonna demean my journalistic and basketball knowledge for one. So I'm going to use stats to back up everything. I'm going to humble myself to the stats. Like LeBron should have humbled himself to some rest. but yeah, the one topic or big topic of the playoffs, failure. I agree with Shaq. I believe the Bucks, they failed based on their expectations. There's no Sacramento didn't fail. They just had a successful season based on their expectations. So
Right.
this whole thing with Giannis, and I'm pretty sure everybody here, it seems like everybody agrees that y'all failed. There's nothing. You're not a failure. We don't have another word of the English language to. Y'all failed. Your coach failed. Your coach didn't put you on Jimmy Butler. Your coach on the inbounds play gave up the most obvious play in basketball with a few seconds left. You don't give up an alley-oop.
Yeah.
Is John Morant, how many games?
I hope he don't get no games.
What you get?
You know,
He didn't break a law. He didn't break a rule. Why should he get a game? I don't think the NBA Players Association is gonna stand for. If they try to suspend him, they're gonna dispute it.
listen,
You having a connection issue. You
you don't have to break a law for your job or your company discipline.
Right.
Like so John Morant, he's not just a basketball player, he's also a marketer of what the NBA does. And it's a global company, and he's got a global image. So I'm not going to say how many games he gets suspended, but they got to do something to him. You know, it's
Why?
or, you know,
Why they
or
gotta do
don't-
something to him?
don't-
What did he do?
well, I'm telling you, he affects the money. Long story short, he affects the money
Right.
because the NBA has a view that it's too black, that there's too many thugs. And
No,
they've been fighting at it. Yes, they've been fighting
I
that
don't
image
think
since
so.
the 70s.
Well, I think they the thug image more Lawrence. I think they've
I
gotten
don't-
rid of that.
Huh? Nah,
yeah, I don't think none of
It's
They've
that.
gotten
always
rid
there.
of the thug image.
I think at this point in 2023,
Like this is always prevalent. Like, and I'm not saying that these players are thugs. I'm just saying that there is a group of people that still say that basketball players are thugs.
there always gonna be that group of people. You never gonna change those groups. They're called racists.
Agreed.
I think in 2023, just about anybody who watches TV and NBA basketball understands
Hold on, James,
now
let him get his
that.
point
That's-
through. Let him get his point through.
Oh, go ahead. I thought he had finished up. Go ahead.
But the like I said, the main thing I'm saying, the NBA is always is protective of that image because of how much it took to even get on TV. They're responsible to their advertisers, on and on and on. Durant being that superstar, I don't know what they're gonna do to him. If they suspend him, fine. If they don't, also fine. But we gotta remember that the NBA has come a long way, and they're gonna protect the whole image thing, because it's about the image of the NBA.
Hey, I think in 2023, anybody who watches the NBA understands now that the NBA is a black league.
Hey, yeah, can y'all hear me?
That's you.
Yeah,
That's
go ahead.
you as an American speaking that way. But remember, it's a global. If it was
Right.
just
I
in
think
America,
anybody in the world who watches the NBA understands that it's a black American league. I don't know. I mean, unless they don't believe what their eyes telling them, like it's a black league. That's
All right,
what it
Reed,
is.
so your question was how many games will John Morant get suspended, right?
Yeah, I'm going at least
Better
25.
I say 82.
How many games you think? The whole
82.
season?
you say a whole season.
Because clearly,
Never.
right, it may never happen, but that's how many games I think you should get. Bottom line is
Okay.
you're the face of the franchise. You got all these things going for you, and the solution is pretty simple. You can't do both. You can't have the gun and the video. So all he needs is the gun or the video. But you can't have both. And his boys need to talk them up. The simple solution. But for some reason,
Don't put
it ain't.
He had the gun. His homeboy had the video.
That's my point.
He ain't
They
have
can't
both.
collaborate together. You making
No, he
millions of
said
dollars, but you
he
can't
on
collaborate
video.
together
He can
on
have
what
guns,
not to
but he
do.
gonna be-
Come on, player.
I
You
think
can't,
that
you
it's
can't
sad.
control his boy and say, "Hey, put that up."
I'm gonna say this. I hope he don't get no games. And if I can sit with John Morant, I tell him, man, you being stupid. You need to straighten up. This is dumb. Like, this is not cool. You not hard. We don't respect you as a street guy because I'm from the streets and I know we don't do the stuff that he do. But at the same time, as an older black guy who would be trying to mentor him and care about my people, my community, I'm not finna throw him away because I understand he's a young guy coming up in this new young culture, this new age of social media, this new age of entitlement. His mama ain't raising him right. She the one calling him up to the spots to come beat people up.
Yo, so suspending him 82 games that's not throwing him away.
I think
that
as
ain't throwing him away.
As a black man who understands the streets and understand where he at, I believe that if you suspend Ja Morant for 82 games, he's not gonna ever play in the NBA again because he's gonna be in prison or he gonna get killed. Basketball is what's saving his life right now. And he needs to play basketball. He just needs other strong men who not willing to throw him away, who understand where he's coming from to be in his ear. He needs a Udonis Haslem. He needs somebody he needs a strong personality male figure because his dad is not that.
What I want to say, where his dad at? Ain't his dad right there?
His dad is not that. His dad is trying to be cool. I'm telling you, he don't have the best parents. If you understood, if you read these reports and you read these stories, you'll be like, damn, his parents are really messed up. You know, so if you understand this, you can't suspend the parents, you can't discipline the parents. I just think he needs a strong male voice. Maybe in the locker room, maybe they hire somebody or something. He needs, that's what he doesn't need to be sitting out for 82 games because he's gonna be in those streets. And it ain't gonna turn out good. Ja needs basketball, and we need Ja in basketball.
I agree with that, but you know, the old saying, you can lead a horse to water. You know,
right?
If we're because this isn't like the first time, right?
Right.
He's had multiple instances,
right?
In this season, and then this is the second gun video. Right. So at a certain point, I'm pretty sure I hope Memphis, I ain't gonna say pretty sure, but Memphis and the league are hoping to steer him away from this kind of activity. But I don't think that he should be, I don't think he should be suspended the whole season. Let me just say that. I don't think that wasn't what I was getting at with what I was saying. What I was saying is where the NBA may be coming from if they do punish him.
Right.
But good point. I think it's a good point. You know, what would he be without basketball? We don't want to lose the individual. We don't want to lose the young black man. That's what we don't. We don't want that. But somebody has to get through to him. At the same time, he's got to want to reach back and get through too.
Right.
Because somebody they've already told him that your behavior is unacceptable. You got to do something different. So
when I was 23, I was Ja Morant.
Yeah.
But I wasn't playing basketball getting millions. So I understand it takes some time, some mistakes to be made, and some maturing to be done. I'm glad that the people who cared about me didn't throw me away and allowed me to flourish to the man I am today. That's what I'm saying. I want him to have that same opportunity that I had. I would expect white folk to be ready to throw them away, but our people, us, I get what you're saying. I get what Mike's saying too, but I expect a different perspective from us because we're men who understand young black men and we understand our community.
That's a good point, dude.
Okay, I guess what I say when you say that is when you say, I guess I understand how a whole season is going to throw him away. I mean, I heard you say he's
Because
gonna be
I
in the
understand
streets.
people like that from the streets, and if you take basketball away, he has to have something to do, and what he likes to do is play with guns, rap, be in that type of situation, and that's where he's gonna be spend his time at, and it ain't gonna turn out good.
But why he can't play ball? You saying on an
Because
NBA
if
level?
you
I mean,
suspend him
I'm
for
not saying
82
pickup
games,
games,
where he
but
playing ball at?
you got courts everywhere, player.
Yeah, but he ain't finna. John Morant can't go play at the pickup ball at the pickup at the park. He can't go in no NBA gym. He got to go to some Gresham Road. Like, no, he can't go there. no, man. Ain't no. I'm just being realistic. If he's out of basketball, his friends don't play ball. He gonna be with his friends.
And does he have a drinking issue? I've heard that.
I don't know. We all drank and did what we did when we was young in college, and we had fun. Is it an issue? It can be if you don't control it at some point. But at some point, like a lot of guys I know who used to get sloppy drunk in college, they don't even drink no more. I don't drink no more. Like, it's a phase. Like, we went through it, and then it was like, all right, we done with it.
So do you think he should have stayed in college for a few more years at Murray State?
Well, I'm not gonna say that because his mama and daddy clearly needed the money.
I don't know about staying. I just think it's just the access and having that much money. One red flag I saw when he was on that plane counting that money. I was like, I don't know if that's a good look. That was the first sign of.
I think
it's not good. It's not a good look.
Go ahead, Long.
I definitely think there has to be some. Like I said, I'm agreeing with what you're saying. I agree with what you're saying. I think it does take a village to lift him up. You know, it's gonna take a village. And when I was young, I wasn't necessarily holding a gun, but I was doing pretty much everything else John Morant was doing. And when I was 23, you know, doesn't mean it was right. Doesn't mean I was behaving rationally. You know,
right?
Like I said, I just hope that he gets the support that he needs because he's a
He's a what? What do you say, Lawrence? Well, Mike got a sweep. Lawrence got 5 games. I got 6 games in Denver. What's your
Everybody took Denver.
Yeah, everybody taking Denver, man. Like Vegas.
I mean, I feel you, man. I mean, I picked them before the season. I don't know if you remember the show, but I picked Denver to win it before the season. So I kind of got to stick with my pick. I believe they got the best player. I believe they got the best team. But man, I really do like Miami and respect Miami. And I can't root against Jimmy Butler. I can't root against those guys. I like how Spoelstra, Pat Riley, Udonis Haslem, that whole Miami mentality. I love that mentality. So I'm looking forward to a great series, but I'll take Denver in 6.
Okay. I mean, but this one of them years, I wouldn't be surprised if Miami did it, man. I'm not gonna be surprised if they get it. First AC.
I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if they beat them.
Not with this. I mean, even though they got the break with Giannis in Milwaukee, but they didn't beat everybody else.
I'd be shocked. That you know what? They ain't got no answer for the joke.
They don't. But Denver do a lot of stupid stuff themselves. I mean, they do some stupid stuff sometimes.
I rarely see it though. I mean, sometimes they bench can get out, but when the Joker is on the floor, it's beautiful, man. How they run their stuff, and then they got the length on defense. Man, I mean, I just think they clearly. I thought at the beginning of the season, I thought Denver was clearly the best team. I mean, I didn't. I thought Milwaukee would be playing Denver in the finals, and then I was going to take Milwaukee. But since Milwaukee got bumped, I think Denver is the best team in the league.
They might just be that. So
but it's gonna be good though. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a short series.
Yeah,
it could be
Thursday, June. Tomorrow night, June 1st. So We're there, folks. At the finals, Miami and Denver. But appreciate you guys, man. Coming on once again.
Did y'all
Go ahead.
I don't think I was gonna see. Did y'all where do you I want to know from y'all, where do y'all got Jokic at as far as all-time great big men that you have seen play?
Definitely behind Shaq and Elijah Wan.
And Jabbar.
Yeah.
Kareem.
Oh yeah. Really didn't see Kareem play, but yeah, definitely behind him.
Right.
He's up there with the Russells.
Who?
Is he better than Pat Ewing?
You got more MVPs, and I guess if you get this title, yeah.
What about Dave Robinson?
Now Dave Robinson got 2. No Finals MVP though. He got 2. Probably
Forget Dave Robinson rings was Tim Duncan rings, so you ain't got to worry about the rings.
Right. Jokic driving the bus, so.
Right.
So, and all the other centers were like defensive guys, unless I don't think I'm missing anybody. I don't know. Moses Malone was more of a power forward, if I'm not mistaken. And you got Wilt. Yeah, you said who I've seen, so didn't see.
Moses Malone is a good one, underrated.
Yeah, is he a center or a power forward?
Center, he is center. Moses Malone 7 feet.
I thought they had. Did they have Daryl Dawkins beside him?
Daryl Dawkins, short.
No.
Right.
But Daryl Dawkins was a center though, 6'9", power dunker.
Nah, Moses Malone was the MVP. Went to the finals for Houston. Then next year went to Philly, won the MVP and won the finals with them. This man is one of the most underrated players ever.
Yeah, I think it's because we didn't see him. A lot of people didn't see him. Maybe the later generations, and then just the way he looks when he plays, it's not. It's not even Tim Duncan polished. So, and I mean, as time goes on, everybody gonna get discredited. It's just people didn't see you. They just whatever. They just gonna discredit you. So that's just the theme with time. So yeah. Just off the top of my head, probably. Yeah. I guess that put him about top 5. Definitely behind Shaq. Shaq and Elijah Wan.
Top 10-ish.
Yeah.
Luke Walton. You got Bill Walton. You know, he got to go somewhere.
Kareem. Yeah. So yeah, definitely top 10. I mean, he's a pioneer. He's a point center. I mean, we haven't seen this before. So.
We didn't even say Wilt. You know.
Yeah, I say saying Wilt. Yeah. Who I haven't seen. Yeah. Russell.
Right.
So yeah.
I just think it's interesting, you know, because a lot of times a player will be great and he'll do something great like what Jokic is doing over the past 3 seasons. Definitely if he can cap it off with a ring. But even then, he still has to do more to get up in that top echelon. And that was my point.
Okay. Because I mean, the way people went, the way Embiid fell on his face.
Oh, he better than Embiid.
Right. But they like that man should be 3-time MVP. Then if he win the title, it's just like, yeah, they missed one this year, but I didn't think he should have got it last year, MVP last year, but Embiid got.
Well, you know, MVP is subjective because a lot of times, most of the writers who vote for MVP, they white. So anytime there's a great white player, he's gonna win the MVP. Whether it's Nash, whether it's Jokic, if it's a really good white player, he's gonna always win it. Right, they're gonna always win the MVP because most of the writers are white and they're always looking for that white player who could be that guy. So that's just how it goes. But so I don't think Jokic deserved every year, maybe 1 or 2. But he definitely was in the conversation because of his skin tone, partly.
And the analytics guys they're the writers now, so he blew their stats out of the water. They were like, oh God, look at this PR, look at this. They were foaming at the mouth.
Right.
All right, so we got your pick. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna call it here. Appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna see how it unfolds. Be on the lookout for the next podcast.
Peace.
Peace. Y'all take it easy.
All right,
Appreciate
have
it.
a good one.
All right, peace, y'all.
All right.
Denver in 4.
And well, folks, that's another edition of the All Basketball Podcast, where debates often take place. I'd like to thank Lawrence for coming back with us for the first time in a while, and Mike and James for usually being here. I thank them once again. Everybody got their pick in. Remember, the finals start June 1st, Thursday night tomorrow, between Miami and Denver. First 2 games are in Denver, and we'll see how it unfolds. Check out coveringthegame.com. Just put up a story on Ben Simmons, one I put a lot of work in, feel like is one of my best pieces that I've written. So go and give that a read if you haven't. Remember to subscribe to the All Basketball Podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Google, Apple, especially Spotify. That would help out greatly if you listen on that platform. And until then, like I said, I'm Maurice Dixon. This is the All Basketball Podcast. And until next time, peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.